Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today we're talking about what inspires you. This is a topic that I've delved into a bunch over the past couple of videos simply because I talk about what inspires me. I talked about Attack on Titan, I talked about Demon Slayer, I talked about my favorite artist in that Q&A video. So I want to ask what inspires you guys now? And what I mean by that is, like, what drove you to want to become an artist, or what drove you to become a greater artist? Because a lot of times people will become an artist without any motivation, but they will see something that makes them want to actually pursue that and make it a passion. um so what I want to know is what did you see that really set in stone the mindset of, okay, I'm going to become an artist? And it's not limited at all, in my opinion. It could be anything. It could be, mostly a lot of times I see it's other artists or fiction that people get inspired by the most. um Other artists, such as like very famous painters, very famous creators, who do art and are very good at it, and inspiring to look at. Just random, you can even find these random small artists who you were inspired by because just the way they draw is very beautiful to you, so you're very inspired and you want to learn to create as good as that, per se. But of course, that's one of the main things. Another one is just fiction, like I said. Obviously that's the main thing I've talked about when I talk about what inspires me. I've talked about Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer, and I've even talked about Genshin Impact a little bit for what inspires me as an artist, as a creative mind. But there's a lot of different types of fiction that can inspire people, where it's not limited to just anime and anime bullshit. It could be anything, like even some reality TV shows, I bet. Because though you get inspired, as it triggers something in your mind. It's a creative instinct, I'll put it. It's just creative. It triggers your creative mind. It'll just start pumping, and anything that can trigger your creative mind to pump can also help you create art. And the reason I say this is because people will consider something like, what's a reality TV show? I don't know if you guys seen Survivor. We'll just say Survivor. That can inspire you to become an artist if you really think about it. In a way, because it can trigger your mind to think of the story, how the story progresses, each person in that story, and it can trigger your mind to be creative and be like, okay, wow, this story is pretty cool. How about I create my own story? And then it can trigger you to become an artist. It can trigger you to create art and stuff. You know what I mean? That one's very subtle, in my opinion. Very subtle, in my opinion. But it just depends on how passionate you are about certain things. There's a lot of different types of inspiration. You can get inspired to become a painter, specifically, to become an animator, specifically, stuff like that. I also think that the way you get inspired can help you. Sorry, my train of thought is like dead right now. I just woke up. Here's a little bit of info about me before I keep going. I literally just woke up, like, I guess 40 minutes ago. Um, I have to bike to work, and I have to be there at 9. It's 7:48 currently. I just wanted to get this video out because I haven't uploaded in 2 days. You know how it is. But yeah, there's other things that can inspire you, such as books. Books are a very it's like I'd say the secondary factor in what can be the main thing that inspires you. Books, especially, like, there's manga, I'd say too, but I would mainly say novels, like, light novels and stuff like that, because you have to imagine it yourself. So you're imagining what everything looks like, how everything interacts with one another. So you're gonna have that creative mind trigger very full when you're reading a novel. You're not seeing the pictures and stuff. Obviously, the pictures in manga can truly help as well, but we're not talking about that. We're just talking about novels for a second, um, and how that can really trigger your imagination. Your imagination is going full blast when you're reading a novel. Your imagination is on fucking steroids when you're reading a novel, because you are just imagining everything you can to have the story you want to think. Like, let's put it this way, right? Say the story has a girl and a boy, and the girl and the boy, they interact. They go to school together, stuff like that. You can imagine, unless they blatantly say this, and they probably will over the course of the story. Um, you will imagine what they look like. Say the girl has bright red hair and the boy has dark green hair or something. That's what you imagine them as. But as the story progresses, your image of them changes based on how they talk, how they interact, stuff like that. That triggers your mind, and you're like, whoa, these characters are really cool in my head. I'm about to draw these characters right now. Anything that triggers your creative mind can trigger you to become an artist. Can trigger you to become any art. When I say artist, I don't just mean drawing. You can be a writer. It can trigger you to do music. Speaking of music, music is also a very big inspiration to a lot of people, including myself. I often draw when I draw. I often listen to music while I draw. That's something that really makes me feel very good, very nice, very happy. It can help trigger your mind to just think differently, I guess. I don't know. It's something with the music waves. It can make you feel very calm, very relaxed, depending on what kind of music you put on, it could be very intense. It could be very upbeat, depending on what kind of music you listen to, it'll help you trigger that specific emotion you want to convey. If you want to draw something really sad, put on some sad music, If you want to draw Miku, put on some Miku music, or I shouldn't say Miku because you guys are going to get mad at me. Put on some Vocaloid music. But yeah, anything simple like that. And basically what I mean by inspiration, to elaborate, is literally anything that triggers your creative mind. And so many things can trigger your creative mind. It's not limited to like anything, in my opinion. Anything can trigger it. That's why a lot of people go outside when they lack inspiration, because even just looking at a tree can give you some inspiration. Looking how a certain thing interacts with something in the real world can help you really see things differently and be like, okay, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna draw something now. Seeing things interact with one another is a very important aspect of having inspiration and being able to convey your imagination onto paper. Being able to see your imagination clearly is also very important. And that's the thing a lot of people struggle with. A lot of times when they want to imagine something, it's very cluttered and stuff. I think having a clear mind is a very important thing to have when you want to create art and be inspired. It's hard to be inspired when your mind is so cluttered with all these ideas. So try to think clearly a bit more. Do some breathing exercises, I guess. That's just my little tip, guys. I'm just so smart. You guys should just listen to everything I say without a second thought. That sounds kind of weird. Never mind. Don't do that. Anyways, as I was saying, but yeah, I guess that's all I have to say this video. Once again, sorry if I sound kind of dead. It is very early, but I hope you guys really enjoy this video. I will probably continue to talk about things that inspired me later on in the channel, because obviously it's not limited to just Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan. Demon Slayer focused on more character design, and Attack on Titan focused on more story design that made me inspired. And that's a very big example of how a story can inspire you without actually needing the pictures. Attack on Titan didn't need those pictures for me to be inspired by it, to be honest. It was the story. But yeah, there are a lot of things that inspire me that I haven't talked about. Won't get into it, guys. No spoilers here. But I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace out. Cause you guys, fuck, dude. Oh my god, bro.